Welcome, friends, and Happy New Year. This is Patty Bennett. We are going to be chatting about Sale-a-Bration products today from Stampin UP, specifically the Corner in Bloom stamp set, which is beautiful. So we are going to be going over how I made these 6 cards with that set, and I'm going to give you some tips for actually using these 3 corner images. So I think you'll enjoy those. I think you will learn something today. Anyway, that's my hope. So this is a live video on Friday, January 3rd at 10 a.m. Pacific time on Facebook. If you're joining live, could you please say hi so that I know that you are here? And if you're watching a replay, I would encourage you to just jump ahead about 1 minute because I logged on about a minute early. Hey, I see Debbie, Polly, Ann, Tracy. Hey, Tracy. Tracy always leaves me just the kindest comments every Friday morning when I say that I'm going to go live. It just makes me smile. Thank you, Tracy. Hi, Shan. Welcome. I am really excited to show you these projects, and if you are looking for the actual pictures of the cards, check back on my blog, pattystamps.com. I'm going to split this up because this is a lot of projects to show in one day. So there will be some information and projects on my blog on Saturday, January 4th. The rest of them will be there Sunday, January 5th. So you can check them all out. I don't know if you like to pin things on Pinterest. I keep lots of things on Pinterest, and so that's where I would save these if I were looking for ideas for Sale-a-Bration. And by the way, this is Patty Bennett. Did I even say that in the beginning? I don't know. Some days I just don't even remember what I've said. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I have about, I don't know, 6,500, 6,600 blog posts for you at pattystamps.com, 480 videos for you on my YouTube channel. And if you need catalogs or you want to subscribe to my newsletter or you want to shop, here are the links to do that. I tried to make them pretty easy to remember. So today we are going to be chatting about Sale-a-Bration. I have a box over here that has all of the Sale-a-Bration products. So we're going to go over them briefly so that you know what is available as a gift choice. And earlier this week, I posted this graphic on my business Facebook page, and I said, which Sale-a-Bration products should I use in my Friday weekly video? And I let you all vote. And the top votes, kind of tied for first, were the Corner in Bloom set, which we are using today, the Friendly Seagulls, which I cannot wait to use this because my son and I have this funny thing about feeding French fries to the seagulls, so I can't wait to make cards for him with this. And then the third thing that was kind of tied for first place is the heart-shaped bundle. You can see it has stamps and dies as a bundle. And I hope you can't hear my stomach growling. I don't know why all of a sudden my stomach is totally growling. I'm hungry. Sorry. I hope you can't hear that. Man. So I was going to start making samples with all of those, and I thought, well, hang on, we have 2 months. Let me just slow down a little bit and show you one at a time. So we're going to do Corner in Bloom today. But these are all of the products that Stampin' Up! Is offering as a free gift in the Sale-a-Bration brochure. So it starts January 7th, runs through February 28th. Occasionally, if some things sell out, then they are not available all the way till the end. So I can't promise that everything will be available for that time period, but hopefully. But we don't know. So like I showed you, there is this Corner in Bloom set, the Heart Bundle, and the Friendly Seagulls. So we looked at that. There are also 3 other stamp sets. So four other stamp sets. And there is, I forgot to grab oh no, I have it. Wait a second. I thought forgot the ribbon, but it's over here. This Fresh Freesia seam binding ribbon is beautiful, wonderful, so easy to tie, so easy to use. It's gorgeous. That is a free gift choice. One of my, excuse me, sorry, froggy. One of my favorite gift choices is this package. They call it purple gems. I would almost call it pink gems, but you know, whatever. Like, to me, it's more of like a mambo and a pretty in pink, or yeah, like a petal pink, and then maybe a freesia, but let's call it pink and purple gems. So that's one of my favorites. I used it on most of the projects today. That is another gift choice. That's that. And then there are 3 packages of designer series paper. Today I've used this one. It's called Bloom Impressions. And when you get the package, this is the sheet that is on top. And my first reaction was, whoa, that's a little much. And I didn't even open it at first. However, as which usually happens with any designer paper pack that I get, once you open it and you start looking at the patterns and you flip them over and you see the back and you kind of get, you know, a full stock in your mind of all the prettiness that comes in here, then you realize it really is lovely and there is so much potential. So that you can see the back sides are fairly plain and the front, well, I call them the front because that's how it's packaged. One side is very busy, lots of florals, and the other side is just sort of these really nice watercolor wash options. So really a very versatile pack, and I've used it, I think, in 5 of the 6 cards today. So we will be looking at that. And then the fruit paper, oh my gosh, so cute. At first, I thought, who needs fruit paper? But my friends, this is just so much fun. This is so cute. All of the patterns are just really delightfully fun, and you can mix and match, and you can use all these bright colors. Just, you can create so many fun things. And if you don't want to do all fruit, there are some more plain type patterns on the back. So you even have dots and these kind of little oval spots and whatnot. So really fun variety there in that pack. And then the last pack of designer paper is the toadstool paper, and it has some really jazzy images that go really well with the toadstool bundle in the January to April catalog. So fun patterns. I don't know why this reminds me of back in the 60s and 70s, like Laugh-In and Dating Game. And I know I'm totally dating myself, but just fun, jazzy patterns and colors, and some simpler, well, not simple, but like non-toadstool. So if you're thinking like, I don't need toadstools, look at all that paper that you can use. So fun variety in that package as well. And then the last thing is this card kit, and it has really fun rainbows in there and greetings, and no stamping required. This would be adorable to give to even maybe some younger girls, or it doesn't have to be girls, you know, I shouldn't say that. Younger kids, maybe if you have a scout troop that wanted to make some cards or something, what a great little kit that would be. And it just makes, let me show you these. Sorry, my thumbs don't always work so great. Let me show you these cute cards that it makes. And you have your choice of different greetings, and then the envelopes are adorable as well. So fun little kit that doesn't even need stamping. So those are the choices for Sale-a-Bration. What is a little bit different this year is that they have raised the minimum a little bit. So instead of a $50 purchase, several of these items are available for a $60 purchase as your free gift. And then the Corners in Bloom and this Heart Bundle are available with a $120 purchase. And there are no limits. You can purchase from the annual catalog, the scrapbooking brochure, online exclusives, and the January to April catalog, and the last chance list. Anything that's online counts towards these purchases, and then you will find these free gifts in here to select from. So that, again, January 7th to February 28th. Let me just catch up really quickly with any questions or comments, and then we will start with the Corner in Bloom cards. Oh, welcome from England and Idaho. Hello, everyone. Thanks, Valerie. Yeah, good morning, Hillary. Just seeing if there were any other... Oh, Joanne in snowy Canada. Welcome. Hi Nell. I was just chatting with my friend Melanie on text this morning, and she was saying that they're driving in a blizzard this morning, 9 inches of snow expected. And I said, oh my goodness, it's barely drizzling here, and people here don't even know how to drive in the drizzle. So I'm not sure what in the world we would do with 9 inches of snow in the San Francisco Bay Area. Oh, Sherry was laughing about the 70s. Yeah, don't you think that paper, it just reminds me of, Laugh-In and like Sonny and Cher and Dating Game and all those fun shows that were on. I know it's before your time for a lot of you, but I'm showing my age. So, no. So Joanne said she thought the last chance list is only available till the end of December. Nope, everything is still there. So it will be on there until it sells out. There is no end date now. It used to be when Stampin' Up! Had a catalog that had, dates that it would end, but not anymore. So they revamped that. They let us know a month or so ago that is different now. And items that will be retiring are on the last chance list, but they're available until supplies run out. So you can just keep looking online at the last chance area, and you can just keep checking. If you're a demonstrator, you can also see the discontinued list, and that will tell you if an item is totally gone. So yeah, no more dates. Kat remembers those shows as well. Yes, that kit would be great for senior center card classes. Denise, I was thinking that as well. So before we make the cards and I give you tips for the Corner in Bloom, any questions about the gifts that you can select or how you earn Sale-a-Bration for 2025? I really want to make sure that I cover any questions you have today. I'll check back on that. How's that? We will get going with the cards and then I'll check back on that. So this stamp set, Corner in Bloom, like I said, Sale-a-Bration are the free gifts. You cannot buy them. So if you're looking for a price or you're looking to add them to your order, they are not available to purchase. You can only get them as free gifts. This set has 3 corner images, and just make sure that you always look at the front. Right here, it says that they are shown at 80%. So sometimes this fools me, especially when I'm looking at a greeting set and it's not shown at full size, and I think I'm going to grab a greeting and it doesn't fit on my punch or my die cut. So do know that these images are bigger. Let's grab this stamp, for instance. So there's the actual stamp versus the size on the cover. So just make sure that that's something that you're always aware of. Anyway, it has 3 corners, and then it has these separate floral blooms. I did not use the little standalone blooms because I think that's pretty easy to figure out, right? Everybody kind of knows how to stamp a stamp and use it on a die cut or the front of your card or whatever, right? So I concentrated on these 3 corner images for our video today. This one, you can see I used this poppy image, and I'll show you how I stamped it twice to create a whole border, a whole frame. This image, here's the easiest one to show you. I stamped it once on a tag and used that as my focal point. But what I'm going to show you is how you can turn this one image into a square and also into a rectangle. It's the same image, but so I'm going to show you that today. I love giving tips. I love sharing extra little, I don't know, knowledge, extra fun things that help enhance your stamping and make your sets go a little further. So that's what we're about today on this. And then this image, let's start with this one. So here it is just in the corner of a different tag on a bookbinding fold card. And then here it is stamped twice on a square. So here, if you stamp it twice on a square, but I turned it on the diagonal and it looks like a whole stamped image in the background. So that's what we're kind of about today, is how to use these in different ways and how I calculated the size of the paper that you would need and how I did this. And then we'll look at the beautiful Bloom Impressions paper that I used on the layering of each card. Oh, thank you. Jenny says, oh my goodness, Patty, you have the most amazing cards. I wish I had half your creativity. You know what? I just sit down and just play. That is my number one tip, is just sit down and play. And that is where all the creativity just starts to flow. Oh, okay, good, Sherry. I'm glad that is a good tip about the size of the images. Oh, good, Jenny. I'm glad you like the paper more. Let's see. Oh, no problem, Katie. Glad you're here. You can watch the replay if you want to see all the beginning information as well. Alrighty, so let's start with this image. So I have 3 cards with that image. Let's start with that one. Oh, that's hysterical. I can hear downstairs the shredder just like went on all by itself. That's hysterical. Oh my goodness. Well, I don't know if it's hysterical. It might be scary. Okay, so if you just have one image, do I? Yes, I do. Sorry, talking to myself. Oh, that's not the same image. Hang on. Is this it? This is it. Okay, here we go. So if you just want to stamp this corner on something, anything, and I did all of these images in Memento black ink, colored them with my Stampin Blends, because you know me, flowers, Stampin Blends, coloring, all the good things, right? So I just lined up the corner and stamped on this tag. And super simple, nothing complicated. That was it. So that's that tag. I stamped over here in the blank space and colored it and did it on a diagonal. This is a Stampin' Up! Note card, 3.5 by 5. And we talked about this paper in the beginning here. This is the Sale-a-Bration Bloom Impressions paper. So this is one side of it, and that's the other side. And I just thought this was a lovely, just a soft kind of like coastal cabana summer splash sort of a look. And this ribbon is the new, let me give you the official title, Petal Pink Scalloped Ribbon. And it is in I think it is in the mini catalog, pretty sure. I don't think this is an online exclusive. Yeah, it's in the mini catalog. And I just tied a little bow up at the top. So a fun tip, using a tag as your focal point and using the note card and of course covering the flap of the envelope to match. So that's like fairly simple. But then I thought, well, I think we could make this image into a rectangle and a square by stamping it 2 times. So stamp it, rotate it, and stamp it. But then I thought, okay, well, so what size paper do I need? And so what I did, rather than trying to figure that out first, was I just took a quarter sheet of basic white and inked my stamp. And I hope this comes out okay because I am not looking straight down through the camera. I'm kind of off to the side, but that is what you have to do when you're doing a live. Okay, so I stamped once, and then to make the rectangle, I came over here and off. Let me wipe this off so you can see. Hang on. Okay, so I scooted over and down. So can you see that? That's going to make a rectangle. So if I line up that over here and I line up this down here by scooting it over like this, then it creates a rectangle. And then I just simply took my ruler and I measured, and I found out fabulously that if you just cut a 3x4-inch piece of paper, that's the size that you need. So that's fabulous. That's easy. It's not complicated. And if you do that, I'll just turn it this way so it's the same orientation. There's my 3x4 piece of cardstock, and I colored it in, but I decided to turn it vertical, and so I've used it this direction on the card. And then I layered it with 2 of the patterns from that Sale-a-Bration Bloom Impressions paper. And it's actually the same piece, both sides of the same piece. Used that as my color inspiration. And by the way, if you're curious what my room looked like when I was a young teenager, there it is, right there. Yellow, orange, and green. So that is how I did the rectangle, and then I layered it onto peach pie, put another layer inside, and then here's a little tip. I cut another 3x4 rectangle, but I only stamped down here, and then I turned it around and I stamped up there in peach pie just to give it a little extra color and border and make the inside a little bit special. And of course, the flap of the envelope. And I want to take just a second. I want to show you on the envelope because I realized I haven't done this in a long, long time. And I had a question recently, how do you do the envelope flap? And I thought, well, I really should show that. So I'll just show you really quickly. When you want to decorate the envelope flap, if you have some scraps, you can use those. I found that 2.5 by 6 is about the minimum that I would want to decorate my flap, the size of paper for my flap. So this is a little bit bigger than that, but that's all right. It's not going to hurt anything. And then I put glue on the flap. And here's what I do. I lift this up. See, so here it's flat. I'm lifting it up so that I can tuck this paper right into that crease. So I'm pushing with my right hand, and then I'm just going to close this and push. So now it's on there perfectly straight right at the edge of that envelope. And I don't have to try to line it up. So I pushed it in there, closed it up. And then after it's dry, because I just find that it's better to let it completely dry. And I know it's not completely dry, but I'll just show you. Then I just cut around the flap. And that's what gives you just this really beautiful little nice extra touch of a decorated flap. And that can be any size envelope, it doesn't matter. But for the standard, for your 4¼ by 5½ inch card and our standard medium envelope, then that's that size. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that because I did have somebody ask and I thought, oh, it's time to go over that again. Okay, so we did just a tag with that corner stamp. Then we did a rectangle. So now let me show you the square. There's the rectangle. So then the square, same thing. I really wasn't sure, okay, I don't know, how big do I need to cut my paper? I don't know. So I just simply took a quarter sheet and inked the stamp, stamped it in the corner, inked it again, and then, so remember on this one, I slid it over and down to make a rectangle. So for the square, we're going to do the opposite. We're going to go up and over to the left so that we are meeting, those, oh, I didn't get it quite stamped, but you get the idea. So that created a square. Again, I just took my little ruler and I measured, and ta-da, it turns out to be a 3.5-inch square. So that is what I did for this. And then I thought it was cute to do a square card. So I just did a 4.25-inch square card and layered my 3.5-inch square piece of white that I stamped and colored, layered that onto a 4x4 designer paper. And again, this is from our free Sale-a-Bration Bloom Impressions paper. I took my color inspiration right from this paper. I think I did Mambo, Flamingo, and I think it was Summer Splash for the leaves. Even though, I don't know, some people would say Summer Splash is blue, I think when you use it in a case like this, you can call it green. At least I do. And then instead of square, 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 I put a circle in there. Oh, and one note about envelopes, since we're talking about those, I do mail all of my square cards in a standard rectangular envelope, because when you mail a square envelope, it costs extra. So I don't want to pay extra postage, and so I just simply put my 4.25-inch square card right into a standard size envelope and mail it that way. So just a little tip, at least in the US. I'm sorry, I don't know about other countries. Let's see. Oh, good. I'm glad you're liking the envelope tip. Oh, good. All right. I'm glad I went over that. Thank you, everybody, for letting me know. Jenny said this is mind-blowing. I'm glad you like all the tips. Oh, good, Kathy. I'm glad it's a time saver. I'm glad this is helpful. So we have a tag, just very big, very, very basic. We have the rectangle that you're going to cut 3x4 if you want to pre-cut. And then we have a square that you're going to cut at 3.5-inch square if you want to make this into a square. So isn't that fun? You have one image, and actually, I'm going to call it 4 separate ways to use it, because like I showed you, you could just do single borders. It doesn't have to be the whole corner or the L. So that's actually like 4 ways just to use that one stamp. So then let's look at this one that I used 2 different ways. Oh, hang on, did I pre-cut? Oh shoot, I didn't. I thought I pre-cut one of the square stylish shapes, and I didn't. But you know what? I think after seeing the first one, you're going to totally understand the method to my madness here. So same idea as this card. I stamped on a tag, and I just stamped it once in the corner. So very simple, just use the image once. And then on the square piece of cardstock, so I just did the same idea where I did it here and I turned it and I made it a square, and that was on the pre-cut stylish shape square. You can see it has little stitching on there, or you could just cut a square. Does not have to be an actual die cut. And so it's this way and this way. and it's on the diagonal instead of a square like that. Just used a little die cut for the happy birthday. And by the way, this happy birthday, if you don't have this, it's in the Tune In. It's in the Tune In set. This is like my favorite happy birthday. I don't know why. I just super duper love that script. I think it's super cute. And the other images, since I just saw it here, I used Wishing You the Happiest Birthday from Happiest Day. I really love that image as well. If you're looking for all these supplies, by the way, they are on my blog already today. So you can hop over when we're done to pattystamps.com. You can use the link in the top of the Facebook Live to get there. Or if you're watching on YouTube, the link is below. So I do have all those supplies already listed for you. I did use, where did we put them? The debatable pink or purple sequins on almost all of these cards, because they just go so perfectly with all of this paper in the Bloom Impressions pack. I know Stampin' Up! Knows what they're doing. They coordinate this on purpose, but sometimes it takes me a minute to realize, like, wow, this stuff all really coordinates. Like the ribbon that I showed you and the ribbon for Sale-a-Bration. It's like, it magically it all goes together. Yeah, I know. They're probably laughing going, duh, it's supposed to go together. Anyway, so I did use a bunch of these sequins on these cards. 3 of them there. Made it a little bookbinding card just to give it just a little bit different of a look. And about 5 of them on here. Just gives a little extra shimmer. This is the back side of one of the Bloom Impressions paper, and it just sort of toned this one down a little. I used the white sequins on this one just because I wanted this a little bit softer. On this one, I put the sequins in the flower centers. And on this one, I actually used Sunny Day dots. And I offset this greeting on purpose just to look a little bit different, and then put the 3 dots below it. 3 dots of either stamping or embellishments or something was super, super, super popular when I started stamping like 30 years ago, doing a set of 3 on the corner or down in the bottom or whatever. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to just bring that back because I like that. So that's what I did on that one. So in our Sale-a-Bration, pardon me, Corner in Bloom set, we did this one as a border, an L, a square, and a rectangle. We used this one as a border, or an L, a corner, and a double for a square. So now let's talk about the poppy image, which just happens to be my favorite. So this is what I did with the poppy image. And I started out with a die cut, sorry, my brain went blank, postage, the perennial postage die. I started with that instead of a rectangle, but you can totally just make this card on a rectangle of cardstock. It does not have to be a die cut. I just grabbed it and I just thought it was going to be cool to make it on that. And so I started with just one part of the image, well, one L. Here it is. And this is big, by the way. This is on the really big, what block is this? F. This is on the big F block. So you can see I just started by stamping it once, and then I turned it and I stamped it for the second time, and that is what gave me the border. And when you do that, you can turn it horizontal or vertical, doesn't matter. Either way works. But I want to give you this fun little tip. And I don't know, yes, I think you can see. So do you see behind there, there's actually an embossed piece. And the idea was not to really see the embossed piece. What I wanted was this piece to be a little raised up so that, do you see how it creates a little shadow around the edge? I wanted a little shadow. I wanted it raised a little, but I didn't want to put it all the way up on a foam sheet. I didn't want it that thick. I just wanted it to have a little bit of a raised feeling. So and I've never done this before, and I don't know why not, but I do have just a little selection of embossed pieces over here that I had already embossed, and I wanted to use them in a future project. And so I thought, well, I wonder if I just take an embossed piece and I use it as a little matted layer, and I put my other cardstock on top. Sure enough, it just raises it just a little bit. And I was like, wow, why have I never done this before? But I loved the effect. And so I wanted to show you that and encourage you to give that a little try. You could even use like older pieces that you weren't going to even use on a card maybe or something. And you could make it smaller so that it doesn't even show. But I elected to have it show just a little bit. So that is how I made that one. And then I was looking for a nice image that would just kind of take up a lot of space right in the middle. And so I grabbed Kindest Expressions and the Oh Happy Day stamp, and I used that one for my nice big greeting right in the center. So I'm going to pause just a minute, take a breath, and I'm going to see if there were any questions. And if you want to see me color this one, I'm happy to do that because I do have this image that I can color in. But hang on one second while I look back here in the questions or the comments. Oh, good. I'm glad you like the matching envelopes, Cindy. Thank you, Patricia. Thanks, Jenny. Yeah, Jenny says she thinks those sequins are more pink as well. I just think they're a little more pink, but that's fine. They can call them purple. It doesn't matter, right? Oh, thank you, Anne. I'm glad you like the poppies. Thank you. Thank you, Cindy. I am glad you like the ideas, everyone. Thank you so much. So kind of you. I just have to tell you, one of the best compliments I think I can get is when someone says, I learned so much from your video, or I learned a new tip from your video. Thank you for the tips. That is really what I'm after, is to educate you on different ways to use the products, different ways to think about it, different color combinations. I just love it when you learn something. So thank you. Thank you. So sweet of you all. Oh, okay. Yes. Oh, yeah. All right. You guys want to see me color it. Let's do that. So I used, I put them all away. Okay. I thought I kept them out. I used Poppy Parade, Real Red. I used Dark Shaded Spruce, and I used Shy Shamrock. I wanted to say Call Me Clover. Good grief. That was an old color, wasn't it? Wow, that just kind of blew my brain for a minute. Okay. Sorry, just trying to cover up those annoying reflections. So to do these poppies, and there's lots of ways you can do this. This isn't the only way, but this is what I did. I started with my dark Real Red and the fine tip end, and I put in color kind of where the artist has those lines, those shading lines, and anywhere that I thought it should be darker. I've said this before in some of my other Stampin' Blends video tutorials. If you want the color to totally blend and bleed together, then just do one image at a time and just color all your shades all at once. But what I want is for these images to have distinct light and dark areas, because that is what is pleasing to my eye. You can do it however you'd like, but that's how I like to do it. So I want to leave some areas lighter and some darker. And the way that you do that is to make sure that these darker areas that I'm putting in first have a minute to dry before you add other color. So then I will go to the dark. This is dark shaded spruce, and add some dark green where I want all those dark parts of the leaf to be. Leaves, several leaves. Just have to pause a minute and make sure if this is a leaf or a flower. Although I don't think anybody's going to scrutinize it and say, "Oop, colored the wrong part." Okay, so that's dark shaded spruce. So now I'm going to go to my mid-tone color, which for me is the dark Poppy Parade. And I am going to color over the dark red and pull a little bit more color outward. So I'm going just over the dark Poppy Parade and a little bit further. And then we will use our lightest color, which is light Poppy Parade, for the lightest areas. And you really want to saturate this. I'll show you the back when we're done here. It's really fun to look at the back when you're all done and see the color that's saturated right through there. And it's almost fun to think about using the other side. So back to the leaves then. My mid-tone will be the dark Shy Shamrock. Same idea with the flowers. Go on top of the dark spruce, but go a little bit beyond. So I'm just covering a second layer over the dark, but I'm pulling color outward a little bit beyond. If you are looking for more coloring tutorials, I didn't count recently, but I think I have roughly 30 free coloring videos on my YouTube channel for Stampin Blends if you want to see more ideas, more tips. Then we'll go to the light Poppy, and I am just putting ever so lightly of a coat out at the tips. I'm not scrubbing in a lot of color because I want these to remain super light as I possibly can. If you've watched my other coloring videos, you know that I love to combine colors. I don't just stick to the light and dark of one set. So here we've got the Poppy Parade combined with the real red. And when it's done, I might even grab my dark Cherry Cobbler and add even more dark shadows. I'm going to see how it looks, but don't be afraid to do that. Don't be afraid to use more than one color. So Poppy Parade and real red all combined. Shaded spruce and shamrock combined. don't be afraid to do that. Let me see. Queen of Coloring. You're so sweet, Tammy. You're welcome, Diana. Thank you, Cindy. You are so kind. Yes, okay, that was an old color. I don't know why why that just like came out of my mouth. What did I say? Shy Shamrock? Yeah, no. Call me Clover. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes that just happens. Oh, good. I'm glad you like this. Thank you. Thanks, Becky. So then let's go to the lightest green, and that is the light Shy Shamrock. Same as the flowers, just barely giving any color to the tips of the leaves, but pulling back down on top of the darker greens. And then I went back at this point with my dark spruce and colored in those little stems with the fine tip. And I'm sure there's a name for that little part that comes up onto the flower. I just don't know the technical name for that. And I can see I missed a few of the flowers. I'm not going to bother to do a ton of shading on those little buds because they're so little, but we can give them a little bit of color. Alrighty, so there we go. All those colors for the poppy. And I think you can see, yeah, it shows, right? The light and the dark, and that combination or that placement of light and dark, so the dark green against the light poppy, that to me is what makes the interest for a colored image. And, you know, I'm not trying to be a Van Gogh or a famous artist with all the knowledge. It's just what I like. And so that's what I encourage you to do, is do what you like as well. Do any of the coloring, the combinations, the lights, the darks, whatever works for your eye. So I am going to use my dark real red, and I am going to just put in one more layer of the dark. And it probably would show up better, like I said, if I even grabbed Cherry Cobbler. But we can always add that. I just love the light and the dark contrast. Oh yeah, you can see that. It did darken it. Yeah, I like that. Wow, okay. So we did it, friends. I'm going to bring the cards back in here and see if you had any questions. Oh, Katie, I hope you'll watch some of my other 30 Stampin Blends videos. I show all the swatches that I make and how I combine all the different colors and not being afraid to just use the 2 shades of any single color. Oh, good. Yeah, I'm glad you like it, Rebecca. Thank you. Patricia says that I am the famous artist. You guys are sweet. Oh yeah, show the back. Thank you. Glad you reminded me. So look, isn't that beautiful? I actually love the back side. When I did this one, I flipped it over and I took a picture and I was like, man, I almost wanted to use the back side of it because it looks almost like a tapestry or an old fabric or something. I love the back. I absolutely love it. But yeah, isn't that fun? I think that's really fun to see. Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you. I'm so glad that you enjoyed the coloring part. So let's just do a super fast review. We'll go backwards. So that was the poppy image, the largest corner in Bloom, stamped twice on a die cut postage rectangle. So that's that one. And then we used this image twice Where'd it go? Hello? It's got to be here. I've only been sitting here. I didn't move, right? So there you go. There you can see it. So we used this image, that one right there, to create just a corner on a tag, or stamp it twice and turn it on the diagonal for a diamond shape. And then this one I showed you four ways to use that one. So an L on a tag, create a rectangle on a 3x4, or create a square on a 3.5-inch square, or use it as a border. So those were the 6 cards with the Sale-a-Bration Corner in bloom. I hope you loved them. I hope you learned something. And if you have any questions or need catalogs, let me know. Again, all 14, I think it's 14. Wait, 8. Yeah, 14. All 14 of the Sale-a-Bration gifts are available starting January 7th with your Stampin' Up! Orders. And if you need to place orders or request catalogs, you can do all of that through my blog at pattystamps.com. You're welcome, Randy. Thanks, Anita. Like a watercolor, Jenny. Yes, it does. The back looks like a watercolor. Yeah, you're right. Thank you. Yes, Vicki, thank you. I see you guys were saying that and I missed that. I thought of that, Tracy. She said I could outline the back. Actually, I wonder, is this symmetrical? Oh, it's not. I was thinking if it was symmetrical, I could just give it an outline, but it's not. But that was an idea. But yes, I could outline on there. I think it would be pretty. I don't know. I love the back of it. Oh, Denise, I'm glad you're going to enjoy it. Thank you, Diana. I'm glad you learned so much. Thank you, Lois. I'm glad you enjoyed the tips, Donna. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. So kind of you. Oh, nice. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I do appreciate you joining me on Fridays. I'm glad that we can have our fun little hour together and share love of crafting and stamping. And I have, do you want to see a sneak peek for next week? I do have them ready. I used a ton of new products. So that's a sneak peek for next week. I used lots of new products, including the embossing folder from Sale-a-Bration, the ribbon, the sequins. These products are actually in the mini catalog. The paper is the Sale-a-Bration paper that we just looked at. So I have these ready to show you next week for more Sale-a-Bration inspiration. And my husband's pacing around me here. He's probably thinking like, are you done yet? Oh my goodness. Oh, well, thank you, everybody. I'm so glad that you were here today. I appreciate you and have a wonderful weekend ahead. And I will see you on the 10th for more Sale-a-Bration inspiration. Talk to you soon. Bye.